Last class we discussed about what is the exit velocity in isoentropic process 44.72 into square root of enthalpy difference inlet minus exit velocity of the inlet enthalpy minus exit enthalpy of the nozzle. But in practical case we assumed in isoentropic process, but in practical case some deviation of the velocity will take place. 10 to 15% of drop in velocity, exit velocity will occur due to the heat loss from the nozzle. We want to consider that heat loss also. Next, maximum mass flow rate. What is the maximum? We determined only velocity. What is the maximum mass flow rate of the nozzle? And the condition for maximum mass flow rate means what is the pressure ratio? In what is the peak pressure for achievement of the maximum mass flow rate from the nozzle? That we will discuss today's class. Suppose in flow process work done is n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 minus P2 V2. N by we can select means arbitrary value, a polynomial process. If n value we know, it may be adiabatic process. So work done in flow process n by n minus 1 into P1 minus P1 V1 minus P2 V2. Then the enthalpy difference equal to work done, that equal to n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 minus P2 V2. Then C2 square by 2 equal to enthalpy difference. This is only by application of the first law of thermodynamics. We determined C2 square by 2 equal to enthalpy difference. C2 equal to square root of 2 into n by n minus 1 P1 V1 minus P2 V2. Otherwise you kept P1 V1 common, then 1 minus P2 V2 by P1 V1. So C2 equal to square root of 2 into n by n minus 1 P1 V1 into 1 minus P2 V2 by P1 V1. Then P1 V1 power n equal to P2 V2 power n is a polynomial process. Then V2 by V1 equal to P1 by P2 whole power 1 by n, or P2 by P1 whole power minus 1 by n. So V2 by V1 you substitute P2 by P1 whole power minus 1 by n. Then final equation you will get 2 into n by n minus square root of 2 into n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 into 1 minus P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n. This is the mass velocity, exit velocity, not mass flow rate. Exit velocity of the stream in the form of pressure and volume, the inlet pressure and exit pressure. Why? Because we want to determine the critical pressure ratio for the maximum flow rate. So I rewrite the equation of the exit velocity instead of enthalpies in the critical pressure ratio, the P to exit to the inlet pressure ratio form. I rewrite the equation. Then we all knows what is the volumetric flow rate means cross sectional area into velocity of the stream. There is a volumetric flow rate means inlet volumetric flow rate equal to cross sectional area of the nozzle, inlet cross sectional area of the nozzle and inlet velocity of the stream, or exit cross sectional area of the nozzle and exit velocity, anything. So area into velocity, then meter cube per second. Then mass flow rate of discharge I want to determine. Mass flow rate equal to volumetric flow rate divided by the specific volume. Volumetric flow rate divided by the specific volume. So this is exit velocity. We calculated exit velocity, exit area, and exit specific volume only is required. So mass flow rate of discharge we want to determine volume of the steam flowing per second per specific volume at pressure P2. Then area into velocity at exit divided by the specific volume. Area by specific volume, area of the exit by the specific volume of the exit, square root of velocity already determined in the form of pressure ratio 2 into n by n minus 1 P1 V1 into 1 minus P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n. Then everything we want to write in the initial forms. Then V1 by P1 V1 power n equal to P2 V2 power n, or V2 by V1 equal to P1 by P2 whole power 1 by n, or V2 equal to V1 into P1 by P2 whole power 1 by N. Then I substituted M mass flow rate equal to A area divided by V1 into P1 by P2 whole power 1 by N into square root of 2 into N by N minus 1 P1 V1 1 minus P2 by P1 whole power N minus 1 by N. Then it went to the root. It went to the root. Automatically it will come square root. Instead square, it will come to inside the root square, and denominator to numerator P2 by P1. So final equation mass A by V1 square root of 2 into N minus N by 1 P1 V1 P2 by P1 whole power 2 by N minus P2 by P1 1 by N plus N minus 1 by N. Then N plus 1 by N you will get. N plus 1 by N you will get. 2 inside it going 2 by N plus N minus 1 by N. N common. 2 plus N minus 1. Then finally we will get the equation N plus 1 by N. Okay. This is the mass flow rate. It is not a maximum mass flow rate. Mass flow rate of the steam velocity, mass flow rate of the steam, by substituting the writing in the form of pressure ratios. Because I want to determine the critical pressure ratio for the maximum mass flow rate. Then we differentiate with the critical pressure ratio P2 by P1 exit velocity by inlet velocity ratio and equate to 0. Then you will get the condition for maximum mass flow rate. The pressure ratio condition you will get. The equation. So P2 by P1 whole power 2 by N differentiate 2 by N into P2 by P1 2 by N minus 1 and N plus 1 by N into P2 by P1 whole power N plus 1 by N minus 1 equal to 0. Then 2 by N P2 by P1 2 minus N by N equal to N plus 1 by N P2 by P1 whole power 1 by N. Then N can cancel, 2 come this side, N plus 1 by 2, P2 by P1 whole power 2 minus N by N equal to N plus 1 by 2 whole power into P2 by P1 whole power 1 by N. Then 2 by N plus 1 equal to P2 by P1 whole power 1 by N divided by P2 by P1 whole power 2 minus N by N. Then 2 by N plus 1 equal to P2 by P1 whole power 1 by N minus 2 minus N by N. It is coming to the numerator 1 by N minus 2 minus N by N. Then final equation N minus 1 by N P2 by P1. So 2 by N plus 1 equal to P2 by P1 whole power N minus 1 by N. The critical pressure ratio for the maximum flow rate P2 by P1 equal to 2 by N plus 1 whole power N by N minus 1. So the critical pressure ratio P2 by P1 exit to the inlet pressure ratio always when the maximum mass flow rate will come is in the form of 2 by N plus 1 whole power N by N minus 1. Now we substitute this critical pressure ratio in main mass flow rate of equation P2 by P1 2 by N plus 1 whole power N by N minus 1 whole power 2 by N 2 by N plus 1 whole power N by N minus 1 whole power N plus 1 by N. Then N can cancel, N plus 1 by N minus 1. Here N cancel, 2 by N minus 1. The final maximum mass flow rate equation at the critical pressure ratio P2 by P1 equal to 2 by N plus 1 whole power N by N minus 1. Then final mass flow rate equation you see area by inlet specific volume into square root of 2 into N by N minus 1 P1 V1 into 2 by N plus 1 whole power 2 by N minus 1 minus 2 by N plus 1 whole power N plus 1 by N minus 1. This is the maximum mass flow rate equation. Okay, it's clear. Next, we'll discuss to saturation flow through the nozzle. Generally, while steam is flowing through the nozzle, in isoentropic process we are assuming once it is coming below the saturation curve, the dryness fraction value below 1, then condensation of the moisture will take place. The condensed water droplet impinged the turbine blades, means it will damage the turbine blades. But immediately below the dryness fraction of 1, the condensation will not initiate. Up to 4 to 5% of reduction of the dryness fraction, the condensation not initiating. That dryness fraction value is called Williams line. So while we are designing the turbine last stages of expansion, the condition of the dryness fraction, we allowable condition, because high velocity steam is entering into the nozzle turbine, exit from the nozzle and entering into the turbine blades. Due to the high velocity, the delay in condensation, delay in condensation process will initiate. The delay in condensation process, at least 4 to 5% reduction in the dryness fraction also not yet started. So that line is called Williams line. For condensation, the saturation line we are assuming X value at 0.96 X value. Whatever the saturation line we are assuming, that is below the saturation line, the dryness fraction value is 0.96. Up to that line, the condensation is not initiating. That line is called Williams line. Okay, it is clear, Williams line. While we are designing turbine exit dryness fraction, we are not assuming 1. Up to 0.96 we are allowing. Okay. Next. Then critical pressure ratio for maximum flow rate P2 by P1 equal to 2 by n plus 1 whole power n by n minus 1. Then if saturated steam, if it is saturated steam, n equal to 1.105, then what is the critical pressure ratio? You substitute, you will get 0.584. If it is a supercritical, superheated vapor, the superheated vapor n value is 1.3. If it is superheated vapor, then the pressure ratio, critical pressure ratio P2 by P1 equal to 2 by n plus 1 whole power n by n minus 1, n equal to 1.3. Then pressure ratio will get 0.546. Next we will solve a small problem, then we will end the steam nozzles. Remaining problems you can practice yourself. A nozzle is a device for increasing the velocity of steadily flowing stream. So nozzle, the main condition, that is one only. At the inlet to the certain nozzle, the enthalpy of the fluid passing. So inlet nozzle enthalpy is 3000 kilojoules per kg and the velocity is 60 meter per second. For the discharge velocity, for the theoretical calculation, what we assumed, inlet velocity is negligible. But in the problem, the given inlet velocity, while you are writing steady flow energy equation, you have to consider the inlet velocity also. So inlet enthalpy of steam is 3000 kilojoules per kg and inlet velocity is 60 meter per second. At the discharge end, the enthalpy is 2762 kilojoules per kg. At the discharge end, the enthalpy is 2762 kilojoules per kg. Then nozzle is horizontal and there is a negligible heat loss from it. So one thing, there is no potential difference and nozzle is horizontally mentioned and there is no heat loss and nozzle is not working, it is not performing any work. So three values 0, we know. Next, what we want to determine? First one, find the velocity at the exit from the nozzle. So find the velocity at exits from the nozzle. So C2 we want to determine. If the inlet area 0.1 meter square and the specific volume at the inlet is, so inlet area they are giving, inlet velocity 60 meter per second, inlet specific volume also they are giving 0.187 meter cube per kg. Find the mass flow rate. We want to determine the mass flow rate. So inlet area into inlet velocity divided by the inlet specific volume, you will get the mass flow rate. Simple. Next, if the specific volume at the nozzle exit specific volume also is giving 0.498 meter cube per kg, then find the exit area of the nozzle. So now I want to determine just exit area of the nozzle. What is the exit area of the nozzle? Simple problem, because enthalpies they given directly. Otherwise, they provide the condition of the steam. By using steam table, we are extracting these enthalpies. The simple nozzle, write the steady flow energy equation, then write down the known values: inlet enthalpy, inlet velocity, exit enthalpy they given. Exit velocity we want to determine. There is no heat loss, very good, 0. The nozzle is not performing any work, W equal to 0, Z1 equal to Z2. Then there is no change in potential energy. Then substitute, modify the equation. H1 plus C1 square by 2 equal to H2 plus C2 square by 2. Enthalpy is in kilojoules, so kinetic energy also you convert to kilojoules, divided by 1000. And finally you substitute exit velocity, you will get 692.53 meter per second. The exit velocity we are getting 692.53 meter per second. One thing we determine. Come to the mass flow rate. Inlet area, inlet velocity, inlet divided by inlet specific volume. You will get the mass flow rate is 32.1 kg per second. So I know the mass flow rate, I know the exit velocity, I know the exit specific volume. Determine the exit area. Inlet area they given 0.1 meter square. Exit area is 8.0 meter square. Just you substitute mass flow rate determined from by using second question, and exit velocity I know. Exit specific volume in the question itself they given. You substitute, then you will get the exit area. Okay. So with this we are ending the steam nozzles. Next class we will discuss air compressors.